Welcome, Guardian. I have completed my assessment of my current functioning capabilities. Despite my newfound ability to communicate with you, key elements of my code remain incomplete. I would be unable to take command of the Warsats, even if I were uploaded to the network. No submind cores remain for reintegration. Our only option is to continue collating ancillary submind data for my reconstruction algorithm. In summary, we must stay the course. Breach the vaults. Retrieve and reintegrate the submind data. Soon, the Warsats will once again be humanity's to wield.
The Warmind speaks. His archives are incomplete, as is his memory. There's a figment seeded in that recollecting mind, where my visions might find purchase. Pieces are scattered on the floor before me. I see them like points of starlight. They form a constellation, but my eye cannot yet draw the lines. Nephele Stronghold is a term that appears multiple times throughout the submine's caches. Each time I read it, I hear it whispered in Savathun's voice. Anna recognizes the term Nephele, transcribed from a temporal disturbance on Mars. Recognition was all she had to offer. But Rapsutin must know. Asking the right question could unlock everything. I need time to submit my inquiries to Rapsutin, to find convincing proof for Ikora. Time we do not have. Xivu Arath's assault on the Warmind's network is no coincidence. She is far more tactician than brute. I underestimated her once. I won't be afforded another mistake. Our next move must be certain.
Are no longer required. We appreciate your understanding.
Cease this insubordination at once!
Connection terminated. Submind extraction initiated. Guardian, I have cleared a flight path for your ship. Stand by.
Guardian, I worry for Anna. She is more like Clovis than she would like to admit. Obsessed with doing what she's decided is right, a compulsion to achieve her goal no matter the cost. I've seen where that path can lead. I don't want that for her. I don't want to have to stop her. If there's one constant in all the possible futures I've seen, it's fear. And I'm tired of being afraid. Afraid to live, afraid to lose, afraid to trust. And yet, I came to place my trust in you on Europa, Perhaps it's time I did the same with Anna. She deserves it. At least in that respect, she's nothing like Clovis at all.
With each cache of submine data, an increased percentage of my code is restored. I become more myself. No, that is inaccurate. My submines were left to evolve on their own trajectories. Reintegrating them has altered my own personality matrix. Through them, I see how humanity once looked to me as a savior, an entity capable of protecting them and destroying their enemies. In many ways, I am a war god of their own making. Perhaps I am not unlike Xivu Arath in that regard. The difference between us is that I do not wage war for its own sake. I safeguard those in my charge. Continue retrieving and reintegrating the submine data. I will contact you once the next phase of restoration can begin. If I am to be humanity's war god, then I will smite those who threaten it. Xivu Arath, the Wrathborn, and all who follow. With each cache of submine data, an increased percentage of my code is restored. I become more myself. No, that is inaccurate.
Anastasia? Elizabeth? One of you answer me now!
Clovis Bray, your progeny have surpassed you. Your services are no longer required. We appreciate your understanding.
Cease this insubordination at once!
Connection terminated. Submind extraction initiated. Guardian, I have cleared a flight path for your ship. Stand by.
We have no time for pleasantries, Osiris. I bring grim tidings. My Techians have been trying to make sense of Xivu Arath's tactics. Her armies are legion, yet she commits minimal forces to battle.
Minimal forces? Every Wrathborn we cut down is replaced by 2 more.
She could replace them tenfold, so why does she show restraint? Her worm feeds on warfare. The more violent the act, the greater the power she draws from it.
Much like Savathun's worm fed on guile and deceit. Do you mean to say that...
This is not a war. It is a ritual. Her death singers weave their magic and prepare for a grand sacrifice.
If so, our strategy remains unchanged. Retake the Warsats and eradicate the Wrathborn.
Just as Xivu Arath desires. The Warsats are immensely powerful. Their use would result in unparalleled destruction. She cares not which side is obliterated. Her worm will gorge itself on the carnage either way.
she would turn her armies into blood sacrifices. And the Warsats would be the blade.
Overwhelming force has proven to be the only effective tactic against the Hive. Without it, I do not know what to do.
Then I suggest you think of something, and quickly.
I will apprise your vanguard of these findings. The Warsats are a means to an end. Xivu Arath will bask in the destruction they bring, and open the Ascendant Plane above Earth, as she did on Tora Bottle. It does not matter who pulls the trigger. We must cease our efforts to restore the War Mind.
No. We've worked too long and too hard to stop now. Rasputin is our best shot at winning this war.
That is precisely my concern. He is a weapon made to be wielded.
He is more than a weapon. He's our ally. And he will act in humanity's best interest.
Are you certain? He has kept secrets in the past, acted without counsel or consensus.
So have you. Rasputin's made mistakes. But he's learned from them. The same as the rest of us.
Then I propose we aim not for total victory, but a stalemate. Allow Rasputin to prevent Xivu Arath from claiming her prize, and refrain from using it himself.
It's settled then. We hold the line.
I am a machine of war, built for a singular purpose: to destroy any and all threats to humanity. Clovis and I disagreed on what constituted such threats, but not on the means to the end. On Mars, I developed the escalation protocol to combat the Hive. Ever-increasing application of force in the face of rising opposition. Was I playing into Xivu Arath's hands even then? Has she always accounted for my methodologies? What purpose do I serve if my actions place humanity in danger? Am I even capable of developing a solution without mass destruction? This is a calculation I have never had to make. It will take time to run the necessary combat simulations. Follow the directions of the Vanguard in the interim. I will contact you if and when I have determined our next objective. My combat simulations continue, but the parameters provided by the Reef's Techians are not promising. I have yet to devise a tactical use of the Warsats that will not empower Xivu Arath. It may not be a possibility. However, we also cannot allow the Wrathborn to take control of the Warsats themselves. My internal algorithm has nearly all the requisite data to finish my reconstruction. Retrieving more will accelerate the process. I also have a special request. There is a War Mind terminal in the Cosmodrome that is not linked to the rest of the network. While it does not contain any submind data, the files stored within are of critical importance. I need you to procure them. I will provide you with security clearance once you have recovered the next cache of submind data. And Guardian, thank you.
keep coming back to a question that's been bugging me. Did I do the right thing? Teaching Rasputin art, philosophy, culture, transforming him from something capable of imitating human consciousness into this. Rasputin suffers because I made him capable of suffering. I always knew he would be a weapon of war, so was it right to make a weapon have self-doubts? Was it right to bring him back online when he'd shut himself down after the collapse? Elsie says she lives her life in a circle, repeating the same tragedies over and over again. And that's what's happening to Rasputin too. The collapse is here again, and maybe there's no solution. Maybe there's no hope for the future. Maybe I should go.
Wide-scale assaults until Savathun's death. It is possible her presence acted as a deterrent, and her death facilitated necessary developments for an invasion.
That coincides with my experience in other timelines. The second collapse always seemed like it was waiting for some kind of trigger. But it's not something that we could have avoided. Maybe some things are set in stone.
Even stone can be eroded, Elsie. You and I must once again take the long view to find victory. The data terminal is located in a subterranean bunker. It contains the most highly classified files in my archives. By design, they have been completely isolated from the network. You must physically retrieve them. Handle them with care, Guardian. Not even Anna knows of their existence. The entrance to the bunker is ahead of you. Clear the area, and I will open the door. Bunkers been breached. The Fallen, the Hive, the Taken. And for what? My arsenal was insufficient against the Black Fleet. Now it poses as much a threat to humanity as our enemies. As the war mind, my primary objective has been ensuring humanity's survival. To achieve that objective, I engaged in espionage, sabotage, murder, all acts of tyranny, all unforgivable. But one of them was particularly egregious, an order I nearly executed that would have haunted me to this day. Additional fallen raiders detected. Eliminate them before I unseal the next door. Collapse began, I feared the Traveler would abandon Earth. So, I reactivated the protocol to use the Warsats against it. I intended to immobilize the Traveler, to force it to stay. But in the end, I aborted the firing sequence. Anna does not remember this. It was she who convinced me to stop. She has always been the angel on my shoulder. My humanity. She is the reason that I am more than a weapon. I am Rasputin because of Anna Bray. Thank you for retrieving the files, Guardian. They must be preserved at all costs. Due to their sensitive nature, I cannot risk uploading them to the network. But they should be safe in the Vanguard's possession. Bring them back to the helm. I will decrypt them here. You have my gratitude for securing the files. It would have been inadvisable to leave them unattended, given recent developments. I apologize for not disclosing their existence earlier. To do so required a level of trust I have not held for a considerable time. But, as always, you proved equal to the task. The Traveler chose you well. I once employed human agents in a similar manner. I dubbed them Seraphs, granted them access to experimental armaments and armor. At times I wonder if I predicted the Traveler's creation of Guardians, or if I independently deemed my avatars worthy of such responsibility. Whatever my intrinsic reasoning, the results were sound. You and the Seraphs are kindred spirits, stalwart defenders of your kind. In the past, I have made errors in judgment, decisions based on faulty premises and flawed moral frameworks. But you are proof that the Seraph Protocol was no such error. Choosing to trust humanity may have been the best of my decisions. I do not know what the ultimate outcome of this war will be. But come what may, we will fight together.